Well, we welcome you back into RadfordAthletics.com and a very special Zoom conversation with former Highlander and Big South Conference great Maddie Palmer, now having a successful professional career in Germany. Maddie, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. You look great, by the way. Professional life treating you well.
Thank you.
Well, let's talk about, let people know exactly where you are and how you continue your career after you played your last match at Radford.
Okay, so just kind of like break it down from after I graduated?
Yeah, we want to know step by step everything you've done.
All right, so I graduated in the winter of 2017 because I wanted to play professionally. So I started looking for agents, and then I found a good one, and they sent me to the Philippines for a summer league in 2018. And then I got back and then got a deal in France and went to play in A2 France. And we won out A2 with Turbo-Florange Olympic Club. So we won A2, and then I got a gig in Finland the year after. And so I went there, and it was cold there, but I loved it and had a good season. We finished third in that league, and that's A1. And then, COVID, so playoffs got canceled, so we all got sent home.
Right.
And now I'm in Erfurt, Germany.
What's been your favorite country so far that you've played in? I guess you can take something positive and negative out of each one.
Yeah. Each country definitely has their draws and their negatives. I mean, the biggest negative is that it's not home, but it is what it is. So I love what I do, so that doesn't bother me too much. But I think so far, I haven't seen much of Germany, but I really, really liked Finland last season.
Well, let's talk about going back to your Radford days. When did you were such a good player early on, it's kind of a hard question, but when did you feel like you hit your stride and you knew you were going to, be an exceptional player at the collegiate level? Was there a certain time you remember, okay, now I'm getting to that level now?
Yeah, I think after freshman year, when we lost in that 5-setter to Coastal, I think it was just kind of dang, I really need to improve. And I worked really hard in the weight room with Bennett, and then came out my sophomore season and really felt like I was going to make an impact. And then I rolled my ankle and I was out for 5 weeks. So that was a huge bummer. But, and then junior year was kind of a standout year for me. That was kind of the year that I was like, oh, I'm pretty good. I think that this is a good fit for me as far as college and the girls. And I just felt like we really clicked. And then senior year, it was even more so just everybody clicked. And we hit our peak at the perfect time my senior year. And we had just such a great group of girls and hard workers. So.
Take us through, you walk down the hallways here at Dedmon, there's that picture of all you guys on the ground after the championship here. Talk about not only winning that title, but how special was it to do it here in Radford?
Yeah, well, we had made it to that point 3 times, if you include my senior year. And, the other 2, we just really, we played well, but we weren't able to finish strong. And it was kind of a do or die moment there versus High Point, and just kind of felt it on the court and with everybody else that this is the year, this was it. I think there wasn't a doubt in anybody's mind that we were going to take that match, and it felt incredible to play on that day. Everybody was just engaged, and I just remember being mentally and emotionally connected with everybody, and it was pretty incredible. It felt great. I loved getting to do that with that group of girls.
I was going to ask you about that group. How often are you guys able to continue to be in communication? Because that's a special bond, that sisterhood of that final year.
Yeah, we keep in contact. It's really nice having social media and stuff just to kind of check in and be like, oh, I see what they're doing, and it's great. And I try to FaceTime or see people over the summer, but I can't always do that. I was going to come back again this past summer to Radford to see the girls, but COVID. So
everything comes back to COVID, right?
Yeah, but yeah, most of us stay in contact, and I just talked to Emma Roblicki the other day, and I reached out to a couple of the girls yesterday just to touch base. So
When you got to the professional level, I guess at each stop, when you got there, what did you realize you would have to do to make your game be to the way you wanted it so you could perform and be successful at the next step?
Yeah, I just knew I had to be solid all the way around, like 6 rotations, and I had to get better and smarter about the way that I was playing. And reading the game, I think, is extremely important at this level, and understanding the flow and reading is just huge. So I've had to develop and like my talents as far as like finding the floor with the ball like more often, and not just like the big hitter kills, but being able to tool the block and find like aim for that back foot of the court that's mostly open, deep corners. And yeah, so I've definitely had to develop in, just being smarter and well-rounded.
Well, take us through a day, a typical day. You have practice and games and match. Talk about what you do in your spare time. You mentioned you haven't seen a lot of Germany yet, but I know that's got to be on your wish list here soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that traveling is going to be different this season just because we got to play it safe. My priority is to the club and to play volleyball. So doing a whole lot of traveling and I guess like being around a lot of people is not going to be smart this season. So, but previously, what a normal day looks like is you wake up, usually you have practice in the morning. It could be a full team practice, or it could just be positional work. Like this morning I had serve and pass. So I just got some reception reps in, and then in the evenings will be usually a 6-on-6 team practice. And then later throughout the week, they'll mix in a lift or a workout in the morning instead of a positional practice. So.
How have the people at each of the stops received you as a professional athlete?
Yeah, I think every culture is different. So that's been, I think, different everywhere you go. But, people are really nice. And in order to be a successful team, you kind of have to bond with the girls. So everybody's usually very welcoming and helps get like the Americans acclimated, and, like gives us like little scripts for the grocery store and stuff so we can kind of, figure out the towns.
Well, listen, Maddie, thanks for letting us have time to catch up to you. All the Highlanders still pulling for you, keeping up with your career. How much longer are you thinking to keep at this?
That's a good question. Every year I kind of gauge how my body's feeling, but I'd like to go as long as possible. I really enjoy this, and it's a great way to see the world and continue doing what I love. So I think that as long as my body is capable, I'd love to keep doing it.
Well, listen, we're thrilled to death for you. Keep living your life and keep doing well. Stay healthy first and foremost, and please let us know when you get back here to Radford, because you're always going to be a Highlander no matter where you go.
Of course, yes. Yeah, thank you so much. I really enjoyed talking with you, and good to catch up.
Likewise.